At my mom's birthday party, my aunt looked at me and asked, "Why does your online boyfriend's voice sound exactly like your cousin Brett?" I nearly dropped my plastic cup of punch. What? That doesn't make any sense. My laugh came out high and strained, nothing like my normal laugh. Aunt Sue stood there with her perfectly plucked eyebrows raised, holding her phone like evidence in a courtroom. "I heard you on a video call when I went upstairs to get my purse earlier. That was definitely Brett's voice, honey." My stomach turned violently. Across the room, Brett suddenly became fascinated with rearranging the birthday presents on the gift table, his shoulders tensing in that cowardly way I'd seen 1,000 times at family gatherings. The tissue paper crinkled loudly in the sudden quiet that had fallen over our corner of the living room. "You're confused," I said, forcing my voice to stay steady even as bile rose in my throat. "Wade lives in Seattle. Brett's literally right there." I gestured toward my cousin, who still wouldn't turn around, his pathetic hands fumbling with a bow that definitely didn't need adjusting. The relatives nearby had stopped their conversations mid-sentence. My mom's best friend Pearl was frozen with a chip halfway to the spinach dip. Even my little nephew had stopped playing with his tablet to stare at us. Aunt Sue pulled out her phone with the determination of someone about to destroy my entire world. I recorded it because it was so strange. "Listen." She hit play, and Brett's voice filled the space between us, unmistakable and intimate. "I can't wait to see you again, baby. Last night's call was amazing. I thought I might vomit right there on my mother's carpet." My entire body went cold, then hot, then cold again. I stared across the room at Brett, who had given up all pretense of gift arranging and stood perfectly still, his back to me like the coward he was. "No," I whispered, my mind racing through 18 months of photos, videos, late-night calls where I'd whispered my deepest secrets. Wade sent me pictures, videos of his apartment, his cat, Brett's really good at that face swap app stuff, my brother interrupted, setting down his beer with a soft thud. "Remember when he made that fake dating profile to catfish that guy who bullied him in high school?" The room started spinning. My cousin looked up from her phone, her face dawning with horrible realization. "Oh my god." Brett asked me for photos of random guys from my college last year, said it was for a graphic design project. The puzzle pieces were clicking together with sickening precision, each revelation making me want to claw my own skin off. All those times Brett had asked about Wade, offered relationship advice, seemed to know exactly what to say when I was sobbing about my long-distance relationship. "Brett always knew when you and Wade had fights before you told anyone," my sister Grace added quietly, her voice carrying perfectly in the now silent room where even the background music seemed muted. "He kept asking me about long-distance relationship tips," my other cousin said, looking between Brett and me with growing horror. "Said it was for a friend who was too shy to ask." I walked across the room on shaking legs, my body feeling like it might collapse at any second. Each step felt like walking through broken glass. Brett still wouldn't turn around, the spineless piece of garbage. "You've been Wade this whole time?" His voice came out strangled, desperate, disgusting. "It started as a joke." "A joke?" The word ripped from my throat. I told Wade everything. My panic attacks, the night I wanted to die, the therapy I couldn't afford, those photos I sent when I trusted. I couldn't finish. My cousin had seen intimate photos meant for someone I loved, someone who didn't exist. The entire party had gone silent except for someone's phone still playing happy birthday music from an earlier video. 23 family members stood frozen, witnessing my complete humiliation. "I remember when Wade and I fought about him never wanting to meet in person," I said, my voice breaking as tears burned my eyes. "You held me while I sobbed. You were comforting me about yourself refusing to reveal your identity. You sat there on my couch, rubbing my back, telling me Wade probably had good reasons while I blamed myself for not being enough. Meanwhile, you sat at family barbecues giving me advice about my own relationship with you while knowing you were destroying me." Dad stepped forward, putting his protective arm around me, his voice pure venom. "Brett, get out of my house. Now." Brett tried one last desperate attempt. "It was just a joke. You're all overreacting." "A joke?" Dad's voice dropped to Arctic levels. 18 months of psychological torture is a joke? My brother moved closer to Brett, his presence suddenly terrifying. "We have everything saved. Every message, every photo you faked, every sick lie you told." Brett's face went from red to white so fast I thought he might faint. "Good," my cousin said. "The whole family's going to know by tonight. All 47 people in the group chat." Dad's voice carried finality like a death sentence. "You're done here. Done with this family."